G'day everyone, Rach here from Rara Stitching Realm. Welcome to another Flosstube video. Yes, I have done some stitching, just a little bit. With that in mind, I always lean on this table. With that in mind, I'm going to give you a warning for the next Flosstube in that it might be a bit abysmal. I have a plan to try and make it not be abysmal, but you never know. Not next week, but the week after, which is the week leading up to recording the Flosstube, I want to participate in a readathon, which has 16 squares on a bingo board, and I want to try and hit them all, which means I need all my time to read when I'm not dealing with the house and the mother. So I kind of thought I'm not going to stitch that week. So what I meant to do that week, I'm going to add into next week. We'll see how it goes. Even if I put a thread or two into each of the pieces and move something along, that's what it'll be, but it might not be a lot. Yeah, so that's a fair warning. Not that this week's any better, but I've at least got haul this week, so. I have touched 3 things and they are not actually in the right order, but that really does not matter. I'll start with the best and work down to the worst probably. No, not quite. Best, worst, and the bit in the middle. Okay, so the chart that got the most work is Jane Marshall, 1857, from Hands Across the Sea. Yeah, you can get this as a PDF. Get my ugly mug out of the way. So the last time you saw it, I had worked on the line above the numbers. So I think there's a little zigzag at the end, and then there's a border line. So that's where I was last up to. And I actually had a really good go, and amazingly, which I haven't done, and I don't really know why, lighting. I actually did stitching while I was watching a rugby match, which wasn't my team, which meant that I really only needed to listen. So I actually got, the lighting is not brilliant, the numbers, the line between the numbers, and her name and age all done. So that's actually all the lettering, I think. Yes. So we now get into the decorative bands at the bottom. There's a borderline under her name and then the 2 decorative bands. So are we gunning for a finish this year? Yes, we are. We're gunning for a finish this year. Okay, my lighting is not brilliant this time round, so yeah. So I'm stitching this on Vintage Country Mocha 36 count with DMC. It's got a silk and a DMC conversion, and I'm just using the DMC. So yeah. I do know from one of the girls at Stitchy Group who is also doing this, she finds the bottom portion of this quite painful. So we'll have to see how we go. Okay, then the next sampler, not that we're in any real order, this is quite abysmal. I had a little tantrum. For some reason I don't have one of the threads, and I don't know if I brought it and I've put it in one of the other project bags, or I didn't buy it at all, and I haven't sat down to figure it out. So I basically just didn't want to stitch on it because I was so annoyed with myself. So this is Mary Wear It by Modern Folk Embroidery. There's her name at the bottom. And I've got all the borders done, and I'm working on, I think this is right way around. It is. I had started this flower. I'd got the greenery done and the bottom 2 pinky things. Oh yes, and this is something I want to see on the camera, because we might have to do some colour changing. So I have added in, there is a different colour green inside the leaves at the top of that, and I've worked on the top element, which is not quite finished because it's missing the colour I don't have. Now I can't even see on this screen, and maybe it's the lighting today, you can just tell there is a cream, and I think it's too close to the fabric. So I think I might have to take this to Stitchy Group and consult ladies who might watch this prior to Sunday. I think we need to change that colour. I'm not too, I don't have the chart in front of me. I don't think it's the same colour as the border. You can see the border there showing up. I'm not too bothered that that border's subtle, but not being able to see the flower, and that colour, if I remember rightly, you are not going to be able to see that, but that colour is also in the border. If I can zoom in, you can kind of see little lines between, don't focus on me, there's sort of little splodges between the trees. I don't know how much it's picking them up. You just can't see them. So I think I either have to change the colour. I think I'm going to leave the splodges out of the border completely. But I need to change that colour, I think. So, yeah, you can kind of see the light's catching one of the upper arms of the detail. It's too pale. So I had a tantrum and threw that away and wasn't going to play with that again. And the only other chart that I touched for not as long as I would like to have done, I really wanted a page finish, and I'm still a while away to go on this. Sarah Casey Unwin, Jessie and me, and I'm working up. The page line is sort of about like that. And I've got all of page 1 done, and I'm missing that and the little birdie there, or the top of the little birdie. All I did was get this done, so that's the line of the page. I didn't come down. If you see on this side, I actually finished the element completely, but that's going on to the page 3. On this side I just finished what was on this page so that I could get in and fill in the gap in between. So I've still got a basket of berries to go and the top of the little bird, and then the top third will be done. It's a 6-page chart, I believe. So I would really like to, I'd like to at least be halfway through this by the end of the year, given that we're now pushing the end of June. Well, week and a half to the end of June. I would really like to at least be 3 pages down by the end of the year. I've got to sort myself out better. Okay, I went and did a little bit of retail therapy with some girls from Stitchy Group a week or so ago, and I came away with the knowledge that my LNS, Art and Frame in Christchurch, is going to be bringing in Scarlet Letter charts. Yes. When I said, would you have a look and see if you can do this, she said, what do you want? And I said, Anne Grimshaw. So when I bowled up 10 days ago, she said, Anne's on her way. And she's like, wow, that site is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the ones that she's also brought in. And then spending an afternoon on the Scarlet Letter website to find some other charts that I want, so that if she hasn't got those ones, I can get her to get them after July, because I'm going to try no by July. Anyway, that doesn't matter for this video. So I picked up 2 Teresa Kogut's, some Santas. It's 5x7 when it's finished. Did I just hit? Country Santa is his name. And he is a, I should have really looked at the back, shouldn't I? Weeks Dye Works, Valdani Cotton Floss and DMC. Yeah, we'll probably do some swapping around for the Valdanis, I think. And then this one will come in at 6 by 6.5 inches finished, and it is called Old Saint Nick. And this is Weeks in DMC, that's better. And the last one I got on that trip is a Brenda Gervais Santa's Tree Farm from last Christmas. Oh, actually it says 2019. But it's not in my book that I've got it, so I got it. Weeks Gentle Arts Classic Colourworks. Finished size is 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, so it's actually quite diddy. What's the 36 count? Vintage Country Mocha. Whew. Do you reckon there's going to be enough at the bottom of Jane Marshall to scoot off a piece for this? That would be good. Okay, then I ordered, there is now at the moment on bricks and mortar but not yet online, I think that's right, shop in Dunedin, which is a city further south on the South Island of New Zealand, and one of the girls came to the cross-stitching retreat last month, and they had the Brenda Keys books. Get my face out of it. So I picked that up, and this is really cool because I've got is it Sarah Watson? I've left a gap on a line where there are some letters that we're not sure. I think it says in the chart she's not sure what those letters refer to, but she's charted them, and I've left the gap thinking I might put my name in there, but if necessary, or I might find something from here to add and make it my own. So I won't open it. You can kind of see as I'm flicking, it's just all charted: houses, people, borders, plants, animals, trees, crocodile. So on the trip with the Stitching Girls, we went to a I'm not sure if it's a pop-up shop or it's going to be a regular thing, but it sells fabric. One of the girls was looking for some backing fabric, so I had a little peruse, and I still have this. I've had it for a while, I think, to make a quilt. So I picked up, this is from that Patchwork Place, Simply Modern Christmas. So that's an image on the back. I love this. So it's just got patterns basically. I picked up, I think this is an English magazine, if I remember rightly, .co.uk. There was a bookshop in the mall that had a really good, amazing array of magazines. So I just picked up that to have a nosy at, and absolutely nothing related to stitching. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen a picture of this already, but one of my favourite magazines from when I used to live in England. So they had, I don't think I've seen one since I left England. Anyway, right, the plan of attack. So today is actually the start of my rotation again, so that's Lucy Calcutt for the next 3 days, and then next week I will try and stitch enough to cover not stitching the week after. That is my plan, but bear in mind that the next Flosstube won't be nearly as long as this one probably. We'll see how we go. Who knows? I might be sick of reading and I want to do some stitching. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me, and I will catch you again in another couple of weeks. Have a good stitching fortnight, and I will see you then. Bye for now.